According to the Department of Education's website, the mission of the DoE is to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal access. Despite the fact that this mission has guided the DoE since 1980, recent departmental actions highlight the conspicuous discrepancy between the department's objectives in theory and the implementation of such objectives in practice. Even before Betsy DeVos took office as the Secretary of Education, departmental practices, and lack thereof, failed to meet the needs of the contemporary student. Although the DoE thinks that they are doing a service to students by feeding them a glorified version of American history and allowing for the avoidance of discourse about quote-unquote controversial topics like LGBTQ history and sex education, quite oppositely, shielding them from this vital information only undermines their preparedness to enter the multifaceted society that exists outside of the confines of the academic sphere and ultimately forces these students to learn about this information from unreliable sources. While disseminating information that leads young people to question their prior convictions can be an uncomfortable process, pedagogues have a duty to share their knowledge with the masses, especially when such masses are America's children. Students under the DoE's jurisdiction are not only denied access to information that they need, but they are also victims of the academic inequality that was bolstered by the ubiquitous implementation of Common Core standards, which was encouraged by the DoE under the direction of former President Barack Obama. The one-size-fits-all national curriculum that is propagated by the Common Core fails to address the needs of students with disabilities, English language learners, and other students of whom require individualized modes of instruction. Since DeVos took office, academic inequality has been at an all-time high. Why is this the case, you may ask? The leaders at the forefront of the DoE should be those with the highest degree of knowledge about America's diverse student body and the public school system at large. While DeVos is tasked with the responsibility of overseeing every public school across the country, it's important to remember that she herself did not attend public schools, nor did her children, and she has never been a teacher, administrator, practitioner, or scholar of education. Not only does she lack knowledge about the system that she oversees, but the immense privilege that stems from her status as a white, Christian right, heterosexual billionaire who was born into the powerful Prince family of Michigan makes it virtually impossible for her to understand the experiences of a socioeconomically, racially, and religiously diverse student body. Like DeVos, the overwhelming majority of the department's senior officials who work under her, including the Assistant Secretary of the Office for Civil Rights, are also wealthy and white and mostly male. Although a person's identity is not the sole factor that shapes their socio-political agenda, it's difficult for us to imagine that a deeply privileged board of individuals can understand the issues that marginalized students face amidst DoE-regulated institutions on a daily basis. These high-ranking officials not only fail to relate to America's students in a socio-cultural sense, but many of them also lack knowledge of what 21st century children need to succeed due to their lack of experience in the public school arena, paired with their deep entrenchment in the political realm. Since the aforementioned officials took office, academic inequality is unsurprisingly at an all-time high. Upon the commencement of their tenure, the DeVos administration quickly deconstructed Obama-era regulations designed as student protection measures of which limited some fees that could be levied on borrowers of student loans and protected victims of sexual violence when filing Title IX complaints on college campuses. The dissection of the aforementioned protections disproportionately impacts immigrant students, undocumented students, and students of color at the intersection of their Title IX and Title VI rights. In addition to hindering opportunities for student loan borrowers and marginalized survivors of sexual assault, the DeVos administration has also revoked protections for transgender students in school bathrooms and statutes that safeguard students of color who receive special education services. It doesn't stop there. Since taking office, DeVos has proposed slashing DOE funding that goes toward after-school and summer programs, child nutrition programs, class size reduction, and community schools that students and parents alike rely on for meals, homework help, academic achievement, and corporeal safety and security. DeVos, with support from the Trump administration of course, wants to reduce the scope of these vital programs in an attempt to expand private school vouchers and for-profit school ventures, even though the evidence is clear that these programs have not helped children and have in fact hurt them. As the DOE encourages teachers to avoid fulfilling their duties to share information that is difficult to digest, acts based on the decisions of leaders who do not have the necessary knowledge to fill their high-ranking positions, and fails to recognize and engender egalitarianism among students, one cannot help but conclude that the DOE's theoretical mission does not manifest through their operations, and thus the department fails to address the needs of the contemporary student. If the Department of Education does not serve the contemporary student, what can you do to change it? How will we fix it?